As much as I enjoy dyeing textiles with turmeric, I'm not oblivious to the fact that, in general, the dye just does not last. With exposure to natural elements such as sun and rain, over time, the golden yellow color will fade away. I wanted to do an experiment to see how exposure to sun will affect cloth dye with turmeric. In this video, you'll witness my results. I started off with 2 pieces of linen that had been previously dyed with turmeric. These are a few months old, and you can see the color has faded from these as well. At one point, they were dark in color. So what I'm going to do is mordant one piece and then dye the other piece without mordant. So you saw me putting one piece into the glass jar. That is water with alum in it, and I'm also gonna soak it in tannin solution. But this piece is the one that I will not add any mordant to, and we'll see how it holds up in the sun. My objective is to just compare a piece that has been mordanted and dyed with turmeric with a piece that has not been mordanted but also dyed with turmeric, and see how they do when left in sunlight for a significant amount of time. So at this point, both pieces have been added to the dye pot, the piece that was mordanted and the piece that was not, and I just let these soak overnight in the dye. And the next day, I'm going to take them out and open them up. Those 2 pieces hung out pretty much all day. We went to a birthday party at the beach, had a good time. So they were in the sun. It was a very pretty day, lots of sunshine. So the pieces were exposed to a significant amount of sunlight. The original 2 linen pieces are shown here, and you can see the significant decrease in color on one piece, and the other still has a good amount of color. And these are the others, which were in the sun closer to 2 days, whereas the others were out there a little bit more than 1 day, a little bit more than 24 hours. And you can see the results here. So what's interesting is that the pieces that I did mordant faded more than the pieces that I did not mordant. I found that very intriguing, and it makes me want to do this experiment again, just to see what the next round of results would produce. Because yeah, the ones that I actually went through the process of soaking in tannin and then, or soaking in alum first and then tannin, did not retain color the way that the other pieces did that received no mordant. So that's very, very interesting. You may be wondering, what's the point of mordanting fabrics that you're going to dye with turmeric, since turmeric is a fugitive dye anyway and the color will fade away? The consensus that I found is that using a mordant can at least help the color last longer. That's what's generally thought. However, these results show something different, at least when the fabrics are in direct sunlight. So one thing that I always express when talking to people about dyeing with turmeric is that it's important to not expose it to sunlight so much, because it will eventually fade the color. Sunlight and also washing repeatedly can remove the color, but as I also like to state, you can always re-dye your pieces that have been dyed with turmeric. I think that's the great thing about it. It's just one of those dyes that it's just fun to work with, and you can dye and re-dye and come up with a new way of tying it. If you want to do tie-dye, or if you want to do shibori, you can just dye over the previous dye, since it does eventually fade to a very light color. This is an experiment I want to conduct again, probably using garments. That's something I've been doing lately, is thrifting garments and dyeing them with turmeric. I've been having a lot of fun with that. And I shared in a previous video that I have items listed on Etsy if you're interested in checking those out. So I'll call this part 1, and I'll follow up soon with part 2. Thanks for watching.